Hello and welcome to our very first YouTube video ever. We are the Homebody Yappers. This is Erica.
Hey.
And I'm Anna. We are actually cousins and BFFs. So our first series, we're going to be reviewing Squid Game Season 1. We know that Season 2 just came out and everyone's seen that, and that's kind of been all the talk of the town now, but we thought it might be fun to go back and do Season 1 because I actually only watched Season 1 for the first time like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was at her house and I watched the entire first season in like 12 hours.
It was crazy. I watched it with her, and it was right after I had just rewatched the first season because I think it'd been like 3 years since the first season came out. So
2021, I think.
Yeah. So it needed a refresher for sure. So now we were like, you know what? I think this would be a good way to kickstart our commentary on TV shows that we like to watch and movies.
Right.
Pretty much whatever we want to talk about. Welcome in.
Welcome in. We're happy to have you. We would love for you to hit the subscribe button. It would mean the world to us as we're getting started here on YouTube with our channel. And give this video a thumbs up while you're at it.
Help out the algorithm.
That's what they say. Yeah. So we're going to say that too. All right. So let's start in. We're going to start with Season 1, Episode 1, Red Light, Green Light. This was an episode.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's what hooked me.
The introduction to the whole thing, and I remember watching this for the first time, and I'm sure everybody else who's seen Squid Game remembers seeing this episode and being like, what is happening? What is going on?
Well, and I kind of wish I had watched it first, like when because you first watched it when it became popular a few years ago.
Yeah, when it was coming out.
I kind of wish that I had hopped on it back then because watching it for the first time 3 years later, I kind of knew the premise just from reading things or seeing memes or seeing things online or what people were talking about. So I kind of wish that I had started it back then for that ultimate shock factor. So like I knew the premise now watching it, but I just didn't know all the details of the plot.
A lot gets spoiled. Well, and it's even like being behind a little bit on Season 2 had a bunch of spoilers later on YouTube too. So I was like,
you gotta stay off of YouTube until you're done watching the series.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I do like the artisticness of having the scene at the beginning with the little boys playing the actual Squid Game and the main character's voiceover explaining the rules, and then the very end, how he wins the Squid Games the first season with his childhood friend. It was an interesting tie-up, so I feel like the first season came to like a good end. Like it was satisfying. And
this may be like a total side note, but like, do you think the kid that they focus on, is that supposed to be Gi-hun from when
I think that's what I thought. I thought that was Gi-hun.
That's what I thought too.
And then the
they
other
don't
little
really
boys,
say.
No. So I mean that's not confirmed, but that's what I would assume. But it's cute. It's a cute little scene. All the little boys playing together. It kind of takes you back to being a kid and just playing outside for hours.
Kid, it's like, look, it's your mom.
Yeah.
Tries to distract.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, we look off to the side, by the way, because that's where we have our TV set up, so we can actually look to see what clips we're talking about.
Yes, we'll get better about looking over there. Yeah, we'll get better looking at you guys.
You know, first video, we're working on it, so
we're getting there.
It's all right. When Gi-hun, after winning the money at the horse races, and he is running away from the loan shark that's coming after him, he runs into that girl, and she slops her drink everywhere, and then she somehow manages to cut his inner pocket and take his money.
She's so badass. She's so badass. She's been my favorite character.
But yeah, I just was through the whole show though, like every time she did that to somebody, I would get confused, and I was like, how did she even manage to do that? Like,
right.
Very impressed with that.
Yeah.
He's like apologetic and like tries to help her a little bit, but really he's just trying to get out of the way and, oh kid, you okay? All right. And then he like puts her drink back together.
Which was nice of him to do.
It was.
It kind of reminded me of that, this is total side note, but like that time that Post Malone was at like some music festival or something and he did some kind of Post Malone-y mannerism. and he accidentally knocked this girl's drink out of her hands, and he went and bought her a replacement and brought it back to her.
But yeah, the fact that he was able to take the money or she was able to take the money.
This is a total spoiler review, by the way. So if you've not watched season 2, I would recommend don't watch this unless you're okay with spoilers.
And if you haven't seen any Squid Game, this is going to be filled with nothing but spoilers because we already spoiled who wins Squid Game in season 1.
This is an absolute spoiler review. That being said, I do think that it's really cool how this loan shark that is threatening Gi-hun in the first episode with like the knife up his nostril, which is like, cannot imagine that scene's intense. But Gi-hun is so scared of this guy, and then after season 1, once he's won all of this money, he hires this guy. So this guy now works for him. Like, how baller is that?
So it is the same loan shark?
It's the same dude, yeah.
Okay.
Also, I just hate how much Gi-hun's face just hurts in this first episode. Like, I think that after this scene, he's gonna be all right. He's all bruised up.
He just gets beat up through the whole season.
Oh, the whole season, man. That's how he becomes such a badass in season 2.
He's a bit of a wuss in the beginning.
And
then
he's really chaotic. I remember watching it with you a few weeks ago. I was like, this dude is chaotic and kind of stressful, but like he's so joyful at the same time that you're just like, despite all of his problems. Well, it's like he's delusional. Maybe joyful isn't the right word.
Yeah, well, and like then the later scene, so like he's lost the money because the girl took it, right? Loan shark has like laughed at his face when he asked him for 10,000 won. Mm-hmm. And then I think he got the 10,000 won back from the girl he gave it to at the desk for the horse races, the horse betting. Okay. And then he uses it to try to win some arcade games for his daughter. And like, I like that scene though where he gets this kid to help him with it because he's so terrible. So like he's just a big dork. He just doesn't know what he's doing or what his plan is going to be. You know, it's kind of a wholesome thing seeing him get so excited about winning.
Yeah, it was cute. He picks the kid up and whirls him around.
Yeah, I thought that was really cute. But yeah, Gi-hun is a big dork.
He's a huge dork. His daughter's really sweet.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to watch, honestly. Like, out of all the things in this series that is hard to watch because there's a lot of gore, his relationship with his daughter and, like, the heartache around her now having, like, a stepfather that acts more like a father, I would say, than her own father. It's kind of sad. Well,
and so that kind of leads into the next scene that stuck out to me was when Gi-hun is talking to his mom, and it's after he spent the evening with his daughter celebrating her birthday, and feels weird that like his ex wants to keep Gi-hun away from his daughter. Like, it's really sad that seems to be happening. And like it's also sad that we never see the daughter ever interact with grandma. Like, they don't have a relationship, and I'm like, oh, like,
at least that's talked about, but it seems like it doesn't seem like they do. I don't know that she says how she knows.
She does. Oh, okay. I don't know.
So maybe she does talk to the granddaughter a little bit, or at least the mother.
Yeah.
To know, because she knew that the family was going to be moving to America the next year, and Gi-hun did not know that yet.
Yeah, she just brings it up like, did anything happen tonight or anything come up? And he's like what? And then she talks about it. So, yeah, I don't know how she found out about it. They don't really establish that. I guess it's not as important a part of it. It's just the fact that they're moving, across the world, basically. Well, and I think, this is later on in this series, too, but I do remember, like, the interaction between the ex-wife and him, where she was, like, holding it against him that he wasn't there for his daughter's birth. I think it just kind of, like, highlights, like, at this point, Gi-hun really is messing up a lot and like not able to get it together for whatever reason. I don't know what is going on.
It kind of seems like a depression almost.
But and I guess like hearing that kind of put it more in perspective of like, okay, I would be pretty pissed too if the father of my child missed being there for the birth.
They were married at the time that their daughter was born.
Were they married?
Yeah, because their divorce was 3 years prior.
Oh, yeah.
I do remember them. I don't remember which character was discussing when the divorce happened, but it had been 3 years. Mm-hmm. And so I think their daughter is 10.
Yes.
So
I believe so. She's like 10.
Yeah, they would have been married, so that's understandable. I don't think the ex-wife is wrong.
No, not on that part.
At least for that part, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess the big turning point for him deciding to go forward with these mysterious games, where he knew that there was going to be some level of humiliation or discomfort, pain, something, because of all the slaps and the kind of violent tendencies of the dacha game that they were playing with the suited man.
The scary guy? The guy who's absolutely terrifying?
He's terrifying, but yet oddly really attractive, so I don't know.
He is very attractive, but yeah, he's crazy.
He plays a crazy guy very well.
Especially when he gets this one eye bigger than the other look.
How does he do that?
I don't know.
How does he do that?
He gets extra unhinged when he has that look.
Oh man, and he's so calm. He's so calm, but he's like... But anyway, so I believe that Gi-hun knew that whatever this situation is with the business card and the games that this suited guy is talking about is going to be something a little bit on the humiliation or beating people up. Kind of, he had to have. But hearing that his daughter would be moving to America the following year, I think was the point where he decided, okay, I'm desperate. I need to do this, whatever it is.
Yeah, well, and then I think also a big factor is he doesn't want his mom to be working as hard as she is. Cause, in the very, very beginning, when they're having lunch or he's eating lunch and she's picking up stuff and going out the door, he's whining at her to stop working so much, but she feels obligated that she has to because Gi-hun hasn't been pulling his own weight and hasn't been
that's a good point,
very stable financially. So the mom is she's mom,
somebody's gotta pull it in.
So I think that was a big part of it. But also the scene where he is finally going to get picked up to go to the Squid Game after making the decision he's going to do it. He goes and opens the van, sees a bunch of people passed out, and he's not
he's just wow, everyone's really tired.
Yeah, my first thing, I would have been okay, stepping back out of here, not going in.
On second thought, I'm good. I'm not here. I don't know. I don't know about this.
But I guess then again, there wouldn't be a story if he didn't get in the van.
Right, yeah. There has to be a little bit of...
But maybe that's just showing more to the... a little bit how naive he is, he just kind of is trusting this pink guy in a mask driving a van with an aspirator, a gas mask on.
What do you think about this first interaction between Gi-hun and Il-han, player one? Because that we didn't know until the very last episode that player number one...
Another spoiler. Yeah.
Is the mastermind behind all of this. Super evil dude. So what do you think about how he played the games, knowing what was going on?
I think it makes a lot more sense seeing how cheerful he is to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Him in the red light, green light game, you see him after people are figuring out how this works and that you're going to get shot and killed if you move during red light, he's just
he's smiling.
Huge smile. He's laughing, he's having fun, and I'm and at first when you first watched it, you're oh, he's just a crazy old man, he just doesn't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't realize what's happening, but then it's no, he knows what's going on.
Do you think if he had moved, or if he had lost, I don't know, do you think they would have killed him? Mm-mm. They would have shot him?
Nope.
No? Mm-mm. But then what would have happened if he was on a losing team during tug of war? We'll get to that. Don't answer that.
Well, all right.
Well, go ahead and answer. It's crucial to what we're talking about.
Well, I think that was remember, there was a big reason why they won is because he gave them all this advice for how to win. So
right. Yeah. So
he was rigging it himself.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah.
So I think they won because he was on the team with them.
That was a baller scene. We'll go into that later when we get to that episode, but that was a chills scene. Very, very well done.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, and it was also really creepy to see him smiling like that while people are getting shot and killed around him. It's just
yeah.
what? Where?
Yeah, it was
absolutely
very odd.
zero.
Looking back on it, there were clues.
Mm-hmm.
There were clues. There were clues that this guy is not who he says he is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, so once they're in the gymnasium room where all the beds are stacked up, and then you realize that there's 456 players, okay, because our man Gi-hun is the 456th player. Right out of the gate, we see the pickpocket that we were talking about that is amazing. She's getting the shit beat out of her by this really creepy looking
dude with the player 101, the one with the creepy sneak tattoo.
Yeah, that bothered me so much.
I'm like, I mean, at least it's kind of cool that it goes down his back.
Oh, yeah,
It continues. It doesn't just like stop under the collar, like.
Right, yeah.
That would be funny. Yeah, he just immediately wails on her, and I don't think they really like delve into the relationship with them before.
No, they don't.
I think they were in like a gang together or something, because he mentioned about like mentoring her and
you're right,
teaching her how to do the things that she knows now.
Yeah.
They also mentioned too that like she said she didn't run away, she went independent, and then he accuses her of being like a North Korean dissenter, I guess, or something like that. So I guess so. It was total survival on her part.
Yeah.
And she probably, she's just doing whatever she can to survive.
100%, yeah. But it kind of goes ahead and sets up that there's people on the outside that know each other on the inside, or at least know of each other. Mm-hmm. So, which we will find out, Gi-hun's best friend from childhood is at the games.
Yeah.
One that was supposed to be like a Korean Ivy Leaguer, for lack of a better term. Somebody that was really smart, a lot going for him academically, or so he let people believe.
He was really good about lying or trying to keep up appearances.
Yeah, but then you find out it's totally false.
Mm-hmm. At the very end, I thought it was really interesting that you finally get to see the scope of how big, how massive this facility
is. A massive fucking facility.
Yeah, and just seeing the roof closing, and it feels like they're outside because of the sunlight coming in.
Yeah,
and the scene walls.
The walls on the.
It looks like outside.
Yeah,
but they're in like basically like a little mouse cage. Like they are very much treated like they're vermin. And
part of the premise of the show is money is the root of all evil, and it does start to turn people evil in the sense of like you start to see people sabotaging players sabotaging other players a little bit in the first episode. And how ruthless, I guess, human nature can be. It's also a fictional show, so not only were the people running the games treating the players like vermin, but the players were treating other players like vermin.
Oh yeah,
pretty brutal. But yeah, that was episode 1 for the most part.
So
there you have it. That was episode 1 of season 1.
Yeah. So that was episode 1, and what started it all off 3 years ago.
And it's the most watched Netflix series of all time now.
Which is insane.
It's insane.
Over Stranger Things and
Bridgerton. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because both of those are so popular. So I'm excited to see season 3, but we'll get there. But thank you so much for watching. Again, click subscribe, like this video. It would really help us out as, you watched our very first YouTube video. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Bye.